Afternoon. We're back and we're raring to go. Mild overstatement. I'm looking forward to it. Back in Unearthed research. I'm gonna. I got the concrete house all buttoned up yesterday, which I was
Gear
happy
like
about.
this eats power, so you're gonna have to find a way to juice it. But I figure you didn't make it this far without a few tricks up your sleeve.
Yeah, I got an ace in the hole. Thank you, Sol. Yeah, I got the concrete house buttoned up, so I've got a shit ton of resources that we collected yesterday and the day before. Just got to make the push to make T4. And my game is frozen. Come on, hurry up and load, would you please? What's going on? There we go. We've got an absolute metric fuck ton of all stuff. It's just a matter of actually putting together a T4. Where are we? We've got the resin up here. We've got plenty of that. We can make more epoxy as we need it. We only need 30 right now. We'll chuck that in there. We'll take the ice out. Put that in there. There we go. Okay. Gold. We've got extra gold. I like to keep the bench topped up. Make sure we've got everything, got enough of everything at all times. That's that. What do we need? Do we need the screws? We'll have to grab something out of there. That's my biggest problem. I'm always running out of space in these fucking benches. I have screws. How many do I need? 30. There we go. Because you can, if from the first generator all you're really powering is the pump and the pump and the analyzer itself, you've got enough power left over to run like a fridge and some lights. So I wanna get. I'm gonna have to move some of this crap because this is where the fabricator's supposed to be living. And then we're already full again. I didn't make this all that well, to be honest. I'm not overly happy with the base, but I mean it is what it is. We live and learn. We tried this out. I uh, I placed the floors slightly too high because the way I did it before, I had the floors lower down, but then the stalagmites on the floor were in the way all the time. But then it was low enough down, I was able to add a second floor and still have enough space from the ceiling. But I put everything just a little bit too high that now I can't manage to get a second floor in. So I'm I'm missing a bunch of that space that I would have had if I had arranged things slightly differently. Let's see if we can get the who's and what's it here and still be able to move around. Yeah, that's alright. We can chuck all of that bollocks in there. Well, I don't need that wood door, do I? I changed it for an aluminium one. Why do I still have 14? Oh, because I'd started to take items out of this, didn't I? So I can move it. Yeah, then we can put... The good thing is that the benches do have the possibility to have a little bit of overlap, like you see. So we've still got a bit of room, which is nice. We'll put the screws there. We'll put the concrete there, because we do need concrete here as well. We're going to need a bit more copper in here than that. Get iron, get a bit of copper. We also need at least a stack of gold. So we need 16 gold technically. So you've got 8 for each of those. Not going to need the fibre there anymore. The titanium can go there. Speaking of which, we should now be able to make ourselves a titanium pick. Oh. I was wondering why it wasn't doing anything. Titanium. Steel. Carbon fiber. Glass. Yeah, let's get ourselves a titanium pick going. Because I'm not exactly in great need of the resources that's stuck in that platinum pick. I usually just put that aside in case I die or something. Then I've got a backup to go to. Let's get the generator out of the way, shall we? So we need 12 more electronics. What are we missing? Epoxy. Let's get that out of the way. We're going to have to get more sulfur. I don't really need that much of silica in there. I want to get the generator down so I can see just how much space I have available to me. What was it? 12. 12. Nice. What do we need for a lantern? 12 glass. Okay, when... and 20 screws. There we go. Lovely. That's exactly what I was hoping I'd be able to do. But I doubt we can pull the same thing off with this over here. Because of those rocks. What we might do is, once we'll get the water pump in there. Where are you, water pump? We need 4 more electronics and 4 more steel. We'll place the water pump in because now it automatically turns on when it's connected to power, so we don't have to. What was it, 4? Okay, now get my head straight. 4. We don't have to physically be able to reach it once it's connected. We'll put the water pump down in the hole, because I'm really hoping I left enough space down there to be able to place that down there, otherwise I'm going to have to do a little bit of a rebuild quickly. And I'm going to have to get some more copper. Where are you, copper? So that we can make a water tool. Pipe tool, yeah. Like so. Lovely. That's lucky. Yeah, then I'll bring the water out. Like so. Yeah, and then we can pipe that to wherever we really need it. And we'll bring the power out and do just much the same thing. Yeah, run lines along the wall with connection points where we might need it. Like so. And if we can get this cement mixer down, we'll put that there. And that uses water, so we'll bring water around to here, like so. We don't have any biofuel yet though, do we? Where are we? Put that back, put that back, put that away. I want to make another floor. Where we've got four concrete. Do we have that left? Oh, easy life. No, we might as well chuck all of it in there for now, to be honest. Wrong one. Chuck all of that in there. And we need more screws and some more rebar. So that we're in keeping with the theme, the look of things. Perfect. Well, hang on. I probably want that there. We connected that to the power system already, didn't we? Do we actually have enough to make 2 right off the bat? Because we're going to need 2 if we want to go composites. Yeah, because the material processor and the furnace each take 2,500 each, and that's a generator all on its own. We should have enough. We need more steel. Where are we? Yeah, we've got more steel. and it was epoxy that we were missing to... Do we need epoxy for that itself? We don't need epoxy for that itself, so we just need to make 12 more electronics. I prefer to do things on an as-needed basis nowadays. I used to just click max, buff, craft, and then by the time it was finished I'd realise, oh shit, I need like, you know, one piece of this or one piece of that, and not have it available to me because I'd sunken it into something else that I don't actually need that many of. Yeah. Lovely. Can still access what's underneath it. So we'll just plug that into the power grid, and when we can put fuel in it, we'll put the biofuel composter over there. But speaking of which, oh, the electric composter needs composites, doesn't it? Okay, we're gonna have to make do with one of these first. 12 concrete. Like so. Thank you very much. Nice. Now we grab some more iron. Make ourselves a can, a few, or 3 or 4. Bam. Bosh. Huzzah. Yeah, then we can plumb that into the water system. Like so. It's not going to be providing water yet, obviously, because we haven't got any fuel to power the generator, to power the pump. But as soon as we do, we will. We can take the sickle outside. Yeah, I usually just chuck these in here. Like so. Put that there. And while I've got the materials available to me, I might as well get the lantern out of the way. So that's 4 rope. Where did I put you? There we go. 4 rope. 12 glass? 12 glass, 8 iron. We've still got a significant enough amount of copper. And we've still easily got enough to make ourselves the hunting rifle if we should but be so inclined, but we don't really need one of those, as well as titanium axe and a titanium knife. But by the looks of it, it's quite likely that we're not going to need that. I do, however, want to get an extractor on the go. Yeah, now we just need to get a little bit more stone. Because I want to be able to put together a little extracting shack. It's usually just a 2x2 with 3 floor elements on the bottom and 4 for the ceiling. Aluminium door. I was thinking of giving what some people suggested, taking the fabricator with you and enough resources to make an extra 2 extractors, and then having one on your back and taking the rest of the stuff with you, and then slapping that down and making enough extractors to cover all of the snap points that there are on the vein. But that's great when you're really in a hurry, depending on what I'd only really do that if I was, I particularly wanted to get things over and done with, if I knew that doing that helped increase our yield. If it just splits whatever that vein has over the 3 extractors and it stops at the same point anyway, I don't really want to do that now, because the way I managed to work around only having, air quotes, only having 1 extractor on the go at any given time, I'll slap it down and then I'll scout out there, because it's all about, it's the waiting game. 1, I'm not in a hurry. 2, I save on resources, and 3, playing it that way affords me the luxury of looking at the caves in the surrounding area where I've got the extractor down. So I just plonk it down, go and check out the. And that's how I happened across so many exotics nodes the last time I did this one up in the desert. We plonked it down, and while it was running, we just ran off and explored all the caves in the area, and we came across like in total 5 exotics nodes. I'd previously only ever found 1, and people were saying that there's like usually 1 or 2 on the entire map. Well, I found 5, and 4 of those were just in the desert area while I was waiting for the extractor to run, and that's a significant enough difference. I mean, if you get the max yield of 16 on all of those, yeah, that's another 80 exotics. That's the equivalent of a shit vein. That's not insignificant. Yeah, do the math. That's, what is it, $50 for each exotic that we sell, or 5? I think it's 1 to 5, isn't it? Yeah, so that's another 4. That's the equivalent of another $400. Yeah, you don't get $400 on some missions. So as far as I'm concerned, that's not an insignificant thing anymore. Are you done? Yeah, because we ran out of stuff to. Chuck that back in there. We'll put that there. Put that there. You relocated there. Now what time is it? Silly o'clock in the morning. Let's eat before those things go bad. And we'll turn that on so we can sleep. And then we'll go out and sickle ourselves some fibre so we can get the... What is it with trees nowadays? They always seem to they seem to persist a lot longer than they used to. I mean, I've got everything set up where I could take care of the objective right now, but I don't want to. All I have to do is set up exactly the same as I did before. Set up a string of pillars all the way out here. I mean, even that I don't really have to do. I could just as easily just put the cables and the pipes along the ground, but one, I don't think it looks very good, and as far as I know, there's been known bugs and issues with putting cabling on terrain, and I'd rather avoid any. It might have been solved, it might not, but one, it looks better, and two, it's more or less, it's a stronger guarantee that it's actually going to work and not bug out than if you just put it on the floor. Yeah, so basically all we'd have to do is run a line of pillars out from the base to here, connect the machine, let it do its thing, have a shit ton of fucking worms spawn around us and fight them, and once it's done 100% of the research, we get the recipes, which we've already got because we've already done this mission once before, and all we have to do is actually physically make one of each of the 4 new items, and then it's mission complete. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to extract all 3 of the veins first, so that's out of the way, and make sure I've got a little bunker at the drop pod where I can take all the exotics to, stockpiled, so I don't have to encumbered walk all the way back to the pod. It's there waiting for me, so I basically just take the stuff out of my little storage, and I only have to encumbered walk from the little storage to the pod. It's extra time, but it's a lot safer. Yeah, I don't want to spend an hour and a half encumbered walking all the way back to the pod with the possibility of getting fucking jumped by a bear in the Riverlands, when I can just, with a little bit extra effort and most likely about the same amount of time, yeah, run there 3 times, yeah, once to make the shelter, and then twice to actually carry the shit there, or probably more times to carry the shit there, yeah, but we'll probably end up using about the same amount of time. I mean, honestly, with all of the shit that I still have on me, like tools wise, that I want to actually take home with me, not leave behind, and then exotics, if we're lucky, yeah, we'd probably only just barely be able to fit everything in our inventory. Because if I get at least 200 from each vein, which I'm really hoping I do this time around, yeah, then that's 600 exotics, 300 of which fit in the ship, and then another 300 of which we have to keep on our person. But if we think about 600 exotics, yeah, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's basically our inventory full. And then the only place we've got any space to carry anything else is our hotbar, yeah. And I've still got, where the fuck are you? Yeah, that I've still got my workshop items and stuff that I want to take with me. So I'd probably have roundabout enough space. Can we put that there? Yeah, we can. So I'd probably have, you know, more or less exactly enough space, but then I'd be encumbered walking all the way back, and I don't want to be doing that through the desert and through the Riverlands, because even though I've got this, that's not going to help me when I'm fucking trying to fight a bear. It's the bane of existence as a solo. It's a fact of life. Yeah, it's, as far as I'm concerned, it's much safer and much more logical to make multiple trips instead of just trying to YOLO it and possibly getting jumped by a bear and then losing everything. This isn't a hardcore mission, but I don't want to have to be asking someone to come and rescue me. might as well grab some more of that. Put that in there for now. We're going to have to chop some wood once the storm's over. Make some more tree sap. Yeah, and then if we put a light here, that should be enough to light up this area. And then, although it's going to be more... It's going to work out being more iron and copper. I think I'll make the wall lights and just put them on the ceiling. What have we got? We've got 1, 2, 3 here. So we'll just put one. We'll either put 3 or put one on every other. So I could just put a ceiling light here and light up there. We'll put a ceiling light there. Yeah. Chuck that in there. Another ceiling light, please. And we can actually see something at last. Right in slap bang in the center of that. And we grab our electric tool, which is over here. And we run our power line down. You can go the equivalent of 2 spaces, but I'd rather go stop at every one, because if we happen to put a machine down that uses electricity in that space, there we'll put a connection point out here as well. Then we'll use the grid of how we've got the things snapped here right now to put a pillar every other possibility all the way out to there. Yeah, and then we can just run the power, and once we get the water run out there as well, we can run the water and power at the top of the pillars all the way out to where we need it. Yeah, and everything's nice and encapsulated. Where are we? Where's the light? There it is. And then we'll grab power. And we can see. And then we do the same thing from here, and we can do it with a nice little straight shot. I don't like the way the cables visually turn like that. Oh, that's much better. I'm happy I went with the ceiling light. That's perfect. Having it light up the equivalent of 3 blocks like that, and having that one lighting up 2 in that direction and 2 in that direction, it's just perfect. Oh, would you look at that? That's lovely. It's cramped, I'll give you that. Yeah, it's cramped, and there are certain things that I could probably get rid of that I don't necessarily need, but I've still got room for like the furnace over here, let's say, and then we can put the material processor down there. Then we can still come to access certain things. Yeah, or we could even put the material processor in back behind there if we can still reach over to it, or just get rid of something like this furnace and shift everything over. Yeah, because once we've got the electric furnace down, then it'll be quicker and more efficient just to use the cement and the electric one. Lovely. Well, let's run our water lines. That's got water. That's got water. Okay. Let's run our water lines down there. Yeah, and then this is where we could put a kitchen bench if we decide to make one. See, I can go 2 spaces. I don't need so many options open to me with the water. And then we've got another little hose bib on the outside of the house. We can just carry it on all the way to the analyzer when we're ready for it. And it's all nice and neat. This is where my Minecraft OCD pays back dividends. About in modded making electrical and water systems as neat as humanly possible, running wires behind walls wherever possible, and pipes and things so you don't actually see it. I mean, that would be difficult here because I'd have to get on the other side of that wall, which I can't, but that's not messy. We've got connection points wherever we might need them. Basically outlets, if we were thinking about it in real world terms. Oh, I've got concrete floor there. Silly Billy. Okay. Then I only need to make 4 more once we get to that point. I didn't realise I had so many left over. Let's queue all of that up. No. Yes. Okay. Now we'll go and chop some more wood and get some more fibre. Let's get rid of this tree, shall we? Because that's fucking annoying. Well, we should be doing it over in this direction. Oh, we've got another tree down. Let's get rid of you as well then, shall we? Yeah, the pylons are more or less going to come out more over here somewhere, and we're going to have to go to the left as well. I think we'll get rid of this stuff. We're not actually going to cook anything with it, but and it's not in the way. I found that was rather annoying. I left the cornfield here, and the worms were spawning here. And sometimes I didn't have particularly good line of sight, or I didn't notice one because he spawned in the middle of the fucking cornfield and I didn't see it. Yeah, we'll leave that there. Well, no, fuck it, get rid of it. Bye-bye. Like, if we could put this into the, now that we've got, let me just finish that thought. I want to check this. Yeah, you can't. If they added a recipe here to put spoiled plants in, because it is organic matter, that would be useful, because then I could put this in one of those wood composter things, get them to rot down and put them in, because I'm not going to use this for anything else. It's unfortunately just going to go to waste, because the squash is all the way over in the desert. I'm not trekking over there to get squash just to make one dish that I can make better versions of, or at minimum equivalents of, with the things that are actually available to me in this area. That's that. Yeah, what else do we need? What's our next objective? The extractor. And we were needing epoxy, which we need sulfur for. So let's just quickly finish filling up that composter with fiber. And get rid of things that are potentially going to be in the way when we have the worms spawning. And we'll go looking for some more sulfur. Because I haven't been murdering particularly many things. Because I'd normally make the bulk of my epoxy from bones, but it's a hell of a lot quicker just to do it from sulfur and tree sap. Oops. There we go. Oh, we need that there. Because I do want to make some of the anti-poison pills eventually. We don't need the crap there though, do we? 4, and by that time there'll be space enough for the 6th one to go where it needs to go. There we are, that's that. Now we can go get some sulfur. Top off our food. We really need some stringy meat. Jigglypuff. Ah, I'll go for sulfur first. Thought it was going to get stuck on one of these. That was quite the shot. I thought it was going to get stuck on one of these bushes. No stringy meat, eh? Stingy bastard. That's my favourite now. It's so good for mining. Speeds up the melee attack so he swings the pick a lot faster. I'd be done with this by now if I had that. Can never quite have enough silica. Get coal as well while we're here. We haven't fully emptied this place out yet, have we? That'll do for now. We'll get that one then, see if it just came past it. I really want to be concentrating on the sulfur. I thought if we're here, then why not come in, take a nose around. Got enough for 200 epoxy there. It is 200 salt. It's 200 salt for 100 epoxy if I remember correctly. And that's 3 fucking arrows I lost there. My good arrows and all. Where are you? Got a wolf nearby as well. Where's your blood? There it is. Oh look. Lucky. Come on then, son. Have some. Where'd you get off to? Where did you disappear to? Oh, there you are. Oh, we're rather full. And we got stringy meat. Yay. What can we get rid of? Don't really need that, do we? Oh yes. That's a win as far as I'm concerned. Okay, deer went that way. 109 seconds ago, 131 seconds ago. That way. There's no other sign. The deer just fucking wander around in a circle and then disappear. What is it? Time? Is it limited to time or something and it just disappears after a while? Well, that's great. We've lost that deer now. That means we've lost that arrow. We might as well bugger off home, seeing as we're full and we've actually got stringy meats to dry now. Apt timing. Chuck you on there. Oh, that's nice. Coming into a place with lights on. Do we need more steel? That's probably about the only thing I need, because I've still got all of the iron there for arrows and composites. We've got 20 steel there. We've got none there. Yeah, let's make some more steel. We need 200 more tree sap to get 200 epoxy. Are you done? Oh, you are. Okay, nice. There we go. That's ready for when we want to turn it on. What we got? We've got 2 cans. Okay. So you want at least 2, possibly even 3 more cans for when we go out extracting. It all comes down to what kind of yield we're going to get out of the vein. If all we get is the same kind of yield as we got previously, yeah, we're going to need 2.5 cans. So we have to make 3 cans, so that'd be 1 more. But I'd rather have that little bit extra than... I'd rather come home with full cans extra than be there and be wanting more. Well, actually, we put our first 100 in there to make circuits. We'll put the rest in there. How are we doing coal-wise? That's just fine. That could do. Well, look, I don't really need that furnace because we're gonna get the electric furnace together in short order. So I'd rather just have the cement one and the electric, to be honest. Next is stone. Stone. I came out and I was fucking just staring at the wall thinking, what the fuck did I come out for now? Okay. Oh look, that's fallen over. It just hasn't fallen over. Let's drop that, shall we? You're leaning that way. We'll drop you that way as well. Oh, I thought that had been blown over by a storm and it just didn't fall over. It looks it. Okay, fair enough. It had. It had. It just, the physics obviously didn't wake up and realise, oh, I can fall over now. No, it definitely had been blown over because otherwise there'd be a stump here that I could hit. When a tree gets blown over, the trunk doesn't remain. And now we get to make a titanium one. What do you want, Mr. Wolf? Mouth breather? Where are you? Over here, son. We could actually hit his fucking head. I didn't want to pick him up. I wanted to skin the fucker. Give me stringy meat, stringy meat, stringy meat. Ah, boring. Okay, we can chuck that in there. Bosh. Get that mixing away. We put 100 epoxy in there already, didn't we? Yep. And we can put the rest in here. Like so. Steel is ready as well. Did we already chuck the steel in there? Where the fuck did my steel go? I just lost a bunch of fucking steel. I haven't got shit in my eye, have I? No. I didn't put it in the wrong place. It's not there. Oh, it is! There it is! You idiot! The fuck is wrong with me? Staring me in the bloody face. Yeah, we still need a bit more aluminium. We need 40 for something here, don't we? 30. Yeah, okay. So we'll grab some of that. We'll grab a little more of that actually, because we only need 4. The doors. Put that in there, because we need... We need to make that, but then we also need some to make carbon fibre. Yeah, steel, tree sap, We'll leave that there. Or will we? Yeah. Oh no, that's epoxy. What else do we need tree sap? What recipe do we need tree sap for? Don't think there is one. Okay, we'll chuck that in there. And we still have oodles of iron, so let's get that out of the way, shall we? We'll make 4 more fuel cans. Like so. That can click away. Then we're gonna need the tree sap there for sure. Oh, the hacks. Hacks. We need carbon fiber. Oh. Put that there with the rest of the broken shit. And we need more oxide as well. We used up our resin. Absolute overkill, but there isn't quite like any kill like overkill. And if we've got the titanium, then why not? Yeah, we've still got enough to make hunting rifle and a knife if we really want. Not that the knife is going to be needed whatsoever. This would disappear. Yeah, ended up disappearing. Well, the rest of that is stuck in the mountain. We've put together so many concrete buildables with this character. We're going to have concrete master with this guy soon. Okay, oxide hunting. Oxide. The fuck are you doing with your head? Soft meat or stringy meat? Come on, come on. Game meat. Oh, okay. That's nice too. It's quite amazing how much you get from them, to be honest. That cooked up is prime meat, and that coming from one chamois seems a little excessive. It would be nice if we got smaller amounts more frequently than just that large amount every so often, rarely. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Nice, fast pick swing. That's what I was waiting for. Thank you, stringy meat. round in circles. This is just a bit of aesthetics, just for the fun of it. have to do the stupid placing against thing again, aren't I? But if I can get that place out here somewhere, there, like that, for example, then I can place that against it. Likes. What? What the hell? Well, this is new. The hell's that all about? It just fell straight through the fucking foundation. Now I can place it again. Let's get these placed first, shall we? Place those two like that. Then we have to remove that so we can place against it to get that facing the way that we want it to face. Yeah, and then we're gonna have to place that with that against it. That's not what I wanted to... we fall straight through it. What's going on with these fucking foundations? I fall straight through this foundation. I guess it doesn't really fucking matter, does it? I'm thinking now. Oh, hello. Sorry, I didn't notice you guys were there in the chat. I was completely lost in my stupid little concrete work. I'm just realizing now it wasn't worth making these because I can't put interior wood on it to make it look nice because this is outside and it will get destroyed. The only thing that'll actually stand up to anything is concrete, but then it doesn't really matter what I would have made it out of. I've got enough concrete and I've got enough steel. Well, what do I need? What do I need here for concrete? I still need 80 there. So let's put what we need in there first. Yeah. Like so. Before we go off half-cocked. No, I'm gonna build a roof as well, but it won't matter. I'm not. This is gonna be a terrace. I wanna have half-pitch roofs coming off, and this is just gonna be an open-air terrace in front of the main door. Yeah. So, what is it? Even if I put the roofs over it, these at the front will definitely get damage, and then only the ones at the back will likely be sheltered enough that they won't take damage. But even those even those ones are likely to actually take damage. So I'm gonna have to put concrete floors on the concrete foundation. So there was no point in using the extra materials to make foundations. I was hoping to do that in here, Yeah, put foundations down in here, and then I could inside I could put interior wood floors down, and it would at least, you know, brighten the place up a bit, so it's not so much of a grey box. Yeah, because if I have no, do what I want. There, like that. You've got to be shitting me. Where did you go now? We might as well leave it there because it looks it looks weird. If you leave it like that, it's just left overhanging. Yeah, and then but if you do that, like I just did by mistake, at least it cleans it up. It's a little niggly thing, but yeah. And then we want 1, 2, 3, 4 railings, and we want aluminium railings. We might as well use some of the aluminium. That's a window. Where's the railing? Where's the railing? Oh, there it was. I just missed it. 4 railings. No, I do too. I do too. It's nice to change it up a bit. The last base I made, I had a interior wooden floor, and it kind of spruces the place up. Oh yeah, I have to have a floor on that before it will let me snap the railing to the edge of it. Yeah, because I have pillars there, and I'm going to have to fill this out with walls so I can get a half pitch coming off of it. So then the half pitch will come out to here. So when you look at it from here, it's just like a little entrance way in the side of the mountain leading into the cave. I mean, this is more or less what they're going to want to try and get away with on the Moon and Mars initially, instead of building buildings on the surface to live out to flesh out caves. I've done that. I've given a hole in the wall all the amenities of a modern home. And I needed. Let's grab some of these, shall we? We can make some more later. Yeah, and then we want half pitches, and we're going to need 6 of those. So we need 4 more rebar and a handful of screws. Handful of screws. This is all superfluous, but this is the whole point of, you know, making the most of what you have fun with. Oh, for sure. But you'd need Unreal Engine 5 for that, to have in the majority of the terrain as a voxel. I can only imagine if they'd made this game in Unreal 5 instead of 4. Oh. That's why I'm waiting for Starfield so much. Oh, and I need 2 pillars as well, don't I? What are we missing? Rebar. Always the rebar. That's coming. 11/11/22. Starfield video game. Engine. Yeah, it's in there. It's in their own creation engine 2, which is also nice, but one has to wonder, would not something like Unreal have been better? But I guess that's Bethesda's proprietary, just like Unreal is Epic's proprietary. Yeah, that's one thing I was wondering about. The the oh, spit it out already. The Unreal Engine 5 is Epic's proprietary engine. They made it. Yeah, but other people, well, Unreal Engine in general, and other companies make games with it. Then how is it that they allow, quote unquote, those companies to put out the games on other platforms than Epic? Because I don't remember seeing Icarus on Epic. Is it there? No, I guess I understand. I guess they must pay some royalty to be able to use the Unreal Engine. I was just wondering out of curiosity. There we go. Come on. There. The placing of these fucking building bits is so fucking dumb. Well, I wouldn't necessarily go as far as call it superior. It's been around for longer, ergo there are more people on it. Yeah, it's got that. It's got that going for it. I don't know how superior it is, but it's definitely got a larger player base. There we go. Got a nice little porch. Hello, Mr. Wolf. You want to give me some stringy meat, don't you? Oh, okay. I'm not particularly familiar with Epic. I only just recently got it. I'm just saying, like, is it not just that we'll get one, two, three more pillars just to have, just to make sure all of those lines are nice and appealing. We're going to dig into our concrete that we had set aside. We want 3 of those, so we need some more. Because what I'm doing now is completely useless, because all it is about an aesthetic line, but it's stuff like that. You know, it's just the little things. I know there's a difference, and it'll fucking piss me off in my mind. It's why I spent so much time building what I built and the way I built it on the outpost. Yeah, because the bridge is made up of one of those foundation blocks with another one on top of it, and then those L-shaped versions on either side. But I went and made enough pillars to cover the entire all four of the edges on both of the foundation pieces, so that you don't just see a weird open overlap. Just to close it in nicely, just like I've done here, where I've put a pillar here that's completely unnecessary, just so it doesn't look unsightly, you know, and sticking out, so that it's a nice continuous line. I did that on the edge of all foundations across my entire bridge, simply for the looks, because otherwise it would just do my head in that it looks bad. Yeah, and I'm putting one there and one there for the exact same reason, just so you have that nice continuous line. It doesn't just stop there for no reason. Isn't that much better? It looks purposeful and finished. And I'm gonna give aluminium beams a chance to shine. We need even more screws. We get 3 of those. Oh, great. Well, we'll make what we can. We don't really need... We haven't got any wires attached to that, do we? No. We don't really need that there. We'll make those 2, and then we'll have 3. And we'll give the top of this roof overhang, hangover, a little aluminium beam edging. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's lovely. Yeah, and then I'll also shine it on with a completely unnecessary wall light and ceiling light. For some strange and unknown reason, these lights are wanting to position in this weird sideways orientation. Yeah, it doesn't matter. See, look, flat surface, but it's on the piss, and I've got no way of rotating it, because when you place it, it just places. And there's no way of me being able to control that. But as I turn, that rotation doesn't change in any meaningful way that I can place it the way I want to place it. That's infuriating, to be honest. I'm not sure whether to put that there or to put it there. We'll put it there, and we'll put it a little lower down. We can have a power connection point just... Well, no, we'll put it higher up, and we'll have the power connection point underneath it. We'll have a ceiling light in the center of that up there. And we can take our power, come off of there. No. Yes. It's better. Not happy with it, but it's better. Oh, it would be nice if there was a way for us to change the color of the lights. I'm going to have to do what I was thinking the first time around, put it lower down and have the power connection above it. Because I want to branch the power off of that pole to continue it out to the analyzer. Yeah, so I'm going to make more pillars and then have pillars like I did before, have power poles all the way out to the analyzer. So that we don't have unsightly yeah, because that gives fuck all in the way of light. They're extremely underwhelming in comparison to the ceiling lights, but I mean, it is what it is. And then we'll put our drying rack back down out here. And we can't turn it, because why would we be able to turn it like everything else? Yeah. Got our little porch lit up. But if we could hold F to interact with it, even if all they gave you was a couple of options to select, like red, green, or blue, if not like having a slider to be able to mix the color to get the color that the whatever color that you want, but it'd give you the option for like interesting builds and decoration. Because then honest to God, I totally have like a bunch of the wall lights and use them as uplighters, like put them on the floor so that the light shines upwards, and then change the color to like illuminate things. I mean, in much the same way as architects consult, those lighting designers to light up interesting buildings in interesting ways. It's completely superfluous to the aspect of the survivalist aspect of the game, but then again, it is a building game. Pardon me. Yeah, and then basically we'll have the same thing. We've got our water outlet there. We'll bring that across in the same fashion to here. Yeah, and then we'll basically connect. I'll bring that over as well. Like that. Yeah, then we'll basically just connect the power and the water line to that, and then lead it down a bunch of pylons to the analyzer when we want to do that. And it's out of the way. I mean, it doesn't look very nice, but it's above your head, and no experimental. How come? I didn't realize. When did they say that? That's rather odd. If I had to hazard a guess as to what that means, I would hope, one would hope. Oh, well, that doesn't necessarily mean that there isn't going to be an update. We've had updates every week since release. Why would they suddenly change it? It's, what is it? Thursday. It's not even 7 a.m. in New Zealand yet on Friday. They might just be opening it up late. It's probably likely that we'll still see one just in a couple of hours. They have opened it up late on Friday for us in the past. The fact that they started to open it up early was the aberration. In the past, it was always opened up Friday our time, not yeah, yeah. Nah, sorry, Friday their time, Friday morning their time. And in the very beginning, very latest, Friday our time, and then they worked weekends. But that only happened like two or three times quite early on. Okay, did you try the strategy that I mentioned? Did you have the polar bear in that spawn? What was empty? What there were no cave worms or anything else, or what do you mean? Okay, but then as you progressed with the melting, did the polar bear spawn in for you? Okay. Yeah, I got two mammoths. On the very first time I did it, I got one mammoth spawn inside and I led him out, and I had another one spawn a little later on, and then a polar bear as well. The polar bear I only came across to completely by accident. I was in the cave and I came outside to get something. I don't remember what it was. I was probably looking for like some some wood or some stone or something. I can't remember what. I went outside to gather some more resources, and then I noticed that there was a polar bear there. But he didn't come into the cave. Okay, we need more fiber for that. No, I understand. I had similar issues before. The last death that really interrupted my flow was when I first died doing Voyager. I was basically in the finish. I had everything prepped. I had all of I had the two units repaired. I had the fuel. I had the generator to charge it. I had the cargo. Everything. Yeah, I just had to physically go and do it. And when as I was on my as I was on my way there, I got killed by a wolf. Well, I had a pack of Arctic wolves jump me, and I wasn't prepared. But luckily, that's when Saltskin and Omni came in to rescue me, and then we finished it up as a team. We went to mine the veins as well, extract the veins. That completely fucked up my flow. Mm. Pardon me a moment. I have to visit the little boy's room. Oh. Oh. Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, as you saw yesterday when I redid it myself on the hardcore, I over prepared. I took so many arrows and different bows and the gun and everything. But I guess I got off a little easy because because I obviously had a little bit of a bug with my computer crashing just when the mammoth spawned, and when I loaded back in again, he was gone. And the polar bear didn't even spawn. So whatever happened with the crash just made the boss spawns wig out. So I didn't have to deal with any of them. It was just the wolves, because I managed to keep the worms at bay with that strategy that I was talking about of having the three worm spawn points opposite from where I was standing, so they'd never actually come out of the ground and bother me. That kind of thing should really be more dynamic. That was a bit of a letdown. I was hoping for a bit more of a fight to make it more interesting, but it was boring. But really, it wasn't even that put me off it the most. The fact that the veins were so low yield. I was originally going to put that in my rotation of missions to do for money, like with Voyager. It's the main reason why I keep doing it over and over, because the veins have a good yield and you get exotics next to the cash reward. I was gonna do Voyager, Unearthed, Cryo, and then just do that in a rotation to earn money and play the game. But I'm not gonna put Cryo in my rotation until there's more information on the veins, possibly getting tweaked to balance the yield more. No, no. Honestly, I doubt. Unless when they add the Steam achievements connected to the accolades, unless that becomes an achievement, that you have to have them all done because I'm a bit of a perfectionist and I'd want to get a perfect game. Unless that becomes an achievement, I'm not going to do all of the missions. I don't. I won't say it's a waste of time, but if you look at it in the grand scheme of things, the gameplay of certain missions is utterly boring and the reward is really low. So unless it's going to become a requirement of the mission, of the achievement, then I'm not going to do all the missions probably. Oh yeah, I was gonna go and harvest some more fiber. And what do we need? We need more silica and stone again because I used it up on our little aesthetic building. My titanium sickle. I don't have all that many either, but they're not all that appealing to me, to be honest. The ones that are left. Oh, I getcha. I mean, they could artificially coerce people to complete all the missions outside of the Steam achievement system by having like an overall checkpoint because we already see that daylight mission on the tree. It's coming soon. It has been for weeks and well, months now. If let's say the only way that unlocks is if you've done all of the previous missions. Again, that would be the only reason. Those would be the only kinds of reasons why I'd go through and complete all the missions. Well, it's got veins. So if you go about it in an organized fashion, yeah, you set up an extractor. You have it doing this. You have it doing the scanning or whatever, and then you go off and do some extracting. And if I remember correctly, that's also been given 3 veins. So even if you go there with one extractor, even if it gives you, let's say, 200-ish, that's going to be about an hour and a half on each vein, and then traveling to the vein, setting up whatever you're going to set up to extract, and bringing the exotics back with you. Yeah, that's 5. That's 6 hours of gameplay right there, while you're air quotes waiting in the background for the scanning to finish. No, I agree. I agree. I remember when they mistakenly made the change on the extractors that they took a ridiculously long time to mine exotics. I was absolutely livid. It took me 9 hours, in-game hours, to physically mine up all of the exotics from one vein. 9 hours. And I have that all on stream. It was absolutely fucking ridiculous. I was probably one of only a few people that actually did that. Other people just straight up didn't mine exotics, or they made sure to max out the number of extractors on a vein, and then they got it done in like 3.5, 4 hours. No, It was my stubbornness. It was my stubbornness, to be honest. I'd already spent so much time on that prospect, and it was the last thing I needed to do. I'd done the mission and everything. I was just waiting for the exotics to extract, and I was like, I'm not fucking leaving now. I'm like this close. Yeah, and it was a mission that only had a cash reward. I wouldn't have got exotics otherwise. I was like, I'm not leaving this now. I'm gonna go through with this, however long it takes, because I want the fucking monies. You're not gonna do me out of my fucking monies this way. It was more my stubborn rage than it was my patience. One overrode the other. No, not that. That. Okay, well let's go and get more silica, shall we? Where haven't I been for silica yet? I haven't been in this area, and I haven't mined up everything that's available over here. And at least there are bears here. Yeah, let's go there. See if we can get some T-bones off of Smokey the Bear. Oh, look. There's some silica right there. You want to shut up, mate? Where are you? Is that you? That's you right there. No stringy meat. Boring. Is that a buffalo or a bear? I just heard a big foot thud. I'm not sure. I haven't made a skinning bench in fucking probably over a month. You get a better yield with the knife anyway. Oh, I seem to remember hearing something about that as well, that it guarantees you at least a small amount of certain specialized meats, but I'm not sure how good it is. And I'm not going to carry a skinning bench around with me to smack it down and put animals on it, and I'm for sure not going to run animals all the way back home just for that. I'd just rather take it with the luck of the draw. I've got by that way so far. I'm not gonna make any new special allowances just for the possibility. Carrying animals is so limiting. I'd rather just skin them in place. No, I get it, but in the place that in the area that I'm in is relatively peaceful, and I get so few animals in that area. I'd probably only take an animal to the skinning bench like once every few hours, and I seem to be getting enough. I seem to be getting enough of the new meats to keep me satisfied just with straight up knife skinning so far, so I'm not gonna bother with the skinning bench. Give me some soft meat, Mr. Little Baby Deer. Oh, it's too fast. I have my red backpack on, not the green. I guess it's luck of the draw, really. Animals are more or less the same as nodes. It can differ from prospect to prospect as to how much you have in a certain area. I mean, as far as I've noticed with things like bears, for example, it can even matter from login to login. Like when I do Voyager, I normally set up my base in the L10 cave or just in front of it. Yeah, and there might be some times when I'll see a bear every so often, and there are other times when on that exact same prospect, I'll log in the next day, and I'll have like a bear spawn in every single possible location in that area. Like I should be hearing the sound of a bear now if he was spawning. Yeah, there's the possibility of a bear being down here, and there's another possibility of a bear being just up there on that plateau. So much of it's just a crapshoot. I don't really need the leather, do I? Well, we'll take... There, you see, and he's spawned in behind me. He's going to be up on that little plateau that I just came off of. Either up there or over here. Over this little ridge. Yep, I can hear his footsteps over there, and I can hear a wolf down there. And a boar. That's rather unfortunate. Oh, I disabled the... I killed the Streamlabs bot. I killed the Streamlabs bot yesterday. Because I was using Streamlabs before, and Stormy reminded me of the fact that you have to add the bot to the moderator list. And I forgot. I wasn't using Streamlabs anymore, but the bot was still moderator on my Twitch. So I had to go in and remove it as a moderator. So it's just the short list of certain racial slurs that I've manually input myself. Everything else goes. What the hell was that all about? Are you alright, Mr. Bear? Are you okay? You've got 10 arrows. 10 arrows and a dream. We only needed 3. T-bone. No, of course not. That would be too much to ask, wouldn't it? Yeah, we already got all the silica from this area on our last run. We have to go more towards the Arctic. Yeah, it depends. Sometimes if you're firing through a bush, technically it should go through the bush, no problems, but sometimes it just disappears. It gets stuck on the little trees, but the bushes it should go through, but it doesn't all the time. You want to shut it? I haven't noticed that kind of. I haven't noticed that kind of thing. I mean, there is projectile drop. It does have physics, so you have to compensate over longer distances. I haven't seen that either. Since I've had the kill cam turned off, I haven't really had that kind of spazzing out. Just the, like what I mentioned, the shooting through a bush related ones. Come on then, lads. Have at it. I'm not going up there. You're gonna have to come down here. And there's Mr. Bear right on schedule. Over here, mate. The what? I've got what turned off? No, I've got that turned on. I've got everything turned on that I can have turned on in the gameplay. Is it in the gameplay? Yeah, creature IK. It's on. It's on. It's one thing I wouldn't mind turning off because if I remember correctly, like once you've killed something, sometimes the body keeps on jiggling. Oh, it's just a wolf. Over here, mate, so I don't have to go far from skinning you next to your friend. When you kill an animal, sometimes the body will start jiggling. And the only way to get rid of that is to turn IK off. Because you have to wait. You have to wait until the body stops jiggling before you can start skinning it. They wouldn't be in that weird contorted position when they're dead if it was turned off. They're a lot more they're a lot more rigid. the way he was walking down that hill is just the fact that the collision box of the hill itself is put together badly. No, that's part. That. Well, whether that's what controls it or not, but turning on and off the IK settings is what controls it in game. That is, you're right. That is ragdoll, but I think that's part of the IK in here. Or at least I don't remember seeing a separate ragdoll setting. Yeah, cloth simulation, but that's for clothes, creature, blood, and that's it. There's no ragdoll. The ragdoll is part of creature IK. Let's take shelter in this cave, shall we? So we'll get some mining done while we wait for the storm to pass. How much space have we got? Not much. Okay, let's get rid of as much crap as we can and organize this a little. And we'll mine the shit out of this cave. Yeah. Yeah, basically. The ones that are particular pit traps that have like a very very deep pit, they don't always have anything decent at the bottom. It's more driftwood at the bottom, but there are things on the walls on the way down. I just take a load of thatch and build ramps spiraling down to the bottom. Oh, would you look at that? We're low on oxygen for once. Hurry up, would you, Storm? Oh, it's mainly over now. We have any more room for anything? Nothing left to mine anyway. Okay. Let's go home. Oh. That's why my frames disappeared. We're having fire issues again. I didn't have that issue before. Yesterday, whenever there was a fire in the area. Oh no. Tell a lie, now that the particles are also starting to decrease with the rain going away, it's getting better. Whee! I'm not going to kill you because knowing my luck you'll give me some bacon and I won't be able to take it home with me because I've got no room for it. Oh, someone's looking for a rescue on Spirit Walk. If no one responds to it before by the time I get home, I'll respond to that and we'll switch over to my other character and go and rescue that dude. That's going to be a good amount of exotics. And I'll leave my character in there until he's finished, until he's ready to leave. In case he needs another rescue. I'll send him a message. We've got no room. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. He's posted that about half an hour ago. He might have already got someone to come and help. I'll ping him. What's his name? Chuck Nasty. There we go. Topped up the sulfur. Put the gold in there. Osh. Might as well put that in there as well, and that. And then the iron will turn into copper, into steel, because I'm running low on that. And we still have 2 left over, so we'll throw that in there. We can turn the bones into dust. We'll have some epoxy on the way as well. Come on, dude. You gonna respond or not? He might have gotten some help by now. I haven't done a rescue in a while. I wouldn't mind going on a rescue. I've been posting some nice screenshots in the screenshots channel in the hope that maybe one of them gets picked up and posted on the Icarus Twitter, but no such luck so far. Place the store thing. Well, he's either logged off or he's already gotten assistance because he's not responding. We'll just get on with it. Pay a little closer attention to LFG in case maybe he responds. That's ready. We can chuck that in there. Now we need a little bit more stone again. Completely emptied the area in front of the base. direct message him. See if he's got the server muted, and even though I pinged him, it might not notify him. One thing I'm hoping they add once the well, down the line, obviously, because that's not something that's going to be happening soon, but once they add the station as a place that we're able to like walk around as our character and go to like the workshop and this and that, is the possibility of having like machinery on the station. So like if you had like a water reclamation system and an oxygen pump or something, where we could fill up our canteen and our oxygen bottle on station before leaving, so you can drop with water and oxygen without having to bother with things. That would be a welcome addition, so you don't have to do anything when you get down on the planet. See, I don't like these corners, the way that the building pieces come together. That's where a pillar would go. Like that's, I wouldn't say doing my head in, but that's bad enough for me to want to make a whatchamacallit. Oh, we got Cave Dweller 5, nice. That's bad enough to want me to make a whatchamacallit, an aluminium pillar and put it there to close that gap. Apparently it's all going to be part of the same system that they're supposedly still working on to upgrade things like the drop pod. As things progress, supposedly there's going to be options to buy upgrades to the drop pod, so we can add more storage space and all that kind of shit. So we can take more things with us and bring more things back in the pod. I don't really know what other things they could possibly add to the upgrading of the pod to make it more useful, outside of maybe having, different engines, so that if you've got an upgraded pod, you can get like on a mission that would normally be like 6 days or something. If you've got upgraded engines on your pod, then maybe that pushes out the amount of time you can spend on the planet. Yeah, because it uses fuel more efficiently and it's more powerful. So then you can basically, the pod goes after the station, meaning you can more or less extend out your mission timer. That would be one possible idea for upgrading the pod. That would be particularly useful for some of the hardcore missions, the ones that have like 5 hours. If you upgraded your if you upgraded your drop pod to have better engines and maybe bigger fuel tanks and that kind of stuff, maybe you could take that 5 hours to like you know maybe double it to 10 or even extend it to a day to give yourself more time. That would be something interesting and fun to work towards. Even having the option of like pop of buying things in the workshop like pop-up shelters. Yeah, something that you put down and when you activate it, it pops up like a little one by one that you can use as shelter, and then have varying have have them at different price ranges. So like one would be the equivalent of wood, and the next one would be the equivalent of stone, and so on, all the way up to concrete. So you could basically just have something in one item. Yeah, like make it heavy. Yeah, make it something like 40 kilos, but then you put it down and activate it, and it whoop pops up like a little concrete shelter that you can, well, concrete equivalent. Yeah, it's as strong as concrete that you can just go into to take shelter, and then you activate it again, and whoop, it compacts, and you can pick it up. But then make that like silly expensive. Make it like 2,000 exotics to research and 1,000 to purchase. Or even more difficult, make it 2,000 money and 2,000 exotics to research, and then 1,000 of each to purchase. Because that would be pretty op. Something like an item like that would be pretty damn op. If you made sure to carry one of those around with you all the time, then you'd basically never have issue ever again with storms. Just chuck it down when you need it, crawl inside. Okay, we needed 80 here, didn't we? That's for the electric furnace. We can leave the rest in here. Okay, we still need 6 more of those. So we need some more screws and 66. Well, we might as well turn the rest of the steel that we've got. We need more screws. Yeah, and then we'll turn the rest of the steel that we've got into rebar. I mean, I'm full of ideas for stuff like that. I mean, I know the hotbar is technically put together the way it is based on the numerical keys that you can switch to the items with the number, but like another welcome addition would be being able to augment the suits. Because one, we saw the removal of the vision slot, which we know they're still working on items to put in there. But another welcome thing would be to be able to augment a suit. So one that doesn't necessarily have a food slot, we could add one to it, or add extra auxiliary slots to it, or have the possibility of like a utility belt where you'd in essence be able to have multiple hotbars. So you could have like a hotbar set up for mining, and then another one for set up for hunting, and then let's say you have like a control mouse wheel to switch between hotbars. Yeah, so then you'd see like an extra, you'd see an extra row of things over here, and that would be your secondary hotbar, and you could set things up in there, and you'd have the option of like control mouse scroll wheeling to switch between the actual hotbar itself. There's a whole bunch of games that have like multiple hotbars. And they'd all be things that you'd have the potential of spending money on inside a potential workshop on the station, where you can tinker on your gear and improve it over time. Oh, we're short of tree sap. That's the only reason we can't make more concrete. Let's remedy that, shall we? And for the backpack and the G slot in general, they could add a military style frame backpack. You know, like where you have like you put the frame on first, and then you have the option to add all kinds of different attachments to it. So then you could basically have a frame, and again have different categories of it and at different price points, where you could have the option of having like a big backpack that will give you, instead of just one row of six extra slots, maybe it would be like two or even three rows of extra slots, and then it would have like hooks or whatever on either side that you could attach like a radar on one side and uh, an extractor on the other, or two extractors, or the little fold up bike that they want to make. Maybe you'd have to have that to be able to attach the fold up bike to it. That's taking it a step further in tech. That would be interesting, but it's that one's a little bit. My idea is just a little bit more simplified, just going on the kinds of things we already have available to us, and things that people that go hiking and pioneering have to begin with. Yeah. No, exactly. It's other things that they could add in next to the. But I'm guessing that they're trying to keep what we have on our person overall as simple as possible, and then where they'll expand upon for like traversing terrain and that, they'll make the if I could fucking talk, they'll make the vehicles for those purposes. So like the little fold up ATV, and eventually the rover. The rover's what a big thing I'm really waiting for to happen. The ATV in particular, but the rover as well. That's going to be pretty fucking badass. Where's the oh, we're out of. out of oxide. And the gun, the carbine, I can hardly wait for that. That's probably my number one. That's my number one, even over the ATV. I want to be able to make a carbine. And then go up and fucking shoot the shit out of everything. You want to not do the fucking titanium that I don't need whatsoever and make the steel, maybe? Thank you very much. I've already got full titanium tools, and I've got enough to make a hunting rifle, and I'm gonna have enough to make a... Oh yeah, oh yeah. But I'm guessing they're gonna be making the aliens so much more powerful in comparison to what we've seen so far that they're waiting to release the aliens together with the higher tier weaponry, so we actually have a chance against them. So what was it? I needed 6 more of those, which I can now make. And then we've got 3. It was 2, 4, 2, 4, 6, 8. So I need 5 more of those. Oh, it's not that bad. If they had, I reckon if they had certain aspects of the maps and the aliens ready to release with the AI in its current state, they already would do so. They're just waiting to put it in there. They're waiting to finish the DLC, have the DLC more polished before they go ahead on a whole. I just find it a little odd. If this game is so high profile for them, so to speak, and yeah, I know they're a relatively small studio, so they need to kind of like keep their options open and be creating more than one thing at any given time. The fact that Dean last week already came out when he was doing that live stream, he was in the middle of introducing that Transport Tycoon remake that they're working on. Yeah, after a little over 3 months after releasing a game as big as Icarus is, I think that was a bit of a mistake. He could have at least been playing Icarus when he came to take Icarus questions. But I guess that wasn't the point of that stream. That was the whole point of that stream, was to show that Transport Tycoon game. He just happened to be taking Icarus questions at the same time. I don't know, it just seems a little odd to me. So soon after releasing a game of this high profile, then he's already coming out talking about the next thing that they've got working, that they're working on. Now they did some they did some good work on them. I mean, I've definitely noticed a significant enough difference in the bears, uh, the bears mechanics to make them slightly more difficult to take on. They have like at least two other methods of attacking you now. A lot of the time they won't just come straight at you. They'll take like one direction or the other and try and encircle you, like come at you from the side, or the other one they'll throw in like zigzags instead of instead of running straight at you. Yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to get at. If this is so high profile for them, then I wouldn't have, as him, I wouldn't have come out so soon after Icarus coming out, showing that I'm working on other things. It further takes away from people's confidence and trust that they're actually taking this seriously enough. I mean, outside of him, yeah, they they obviously must have some sort of a lead that's on the Icarus project. Yeah, then why not choose someone, let's say, that is okay with doing things like the live streams? And then if he's still involved in Icarus but more hands off, and then that lead has taken over to a higher degree, then have someone introduce that lead to the community and have them come on and do maybe every so often, like maybe every 2 weeks or so, or every month or so, a little live stream with a AMA or a question and answer of things related to Icarus, where they can showcase stuff. That would show another higher level of involvement and commitment from their side that would inspire more confidence. And it's what Satisfactory does. Satisfactory is donkey's years old now, and they the one of the dudes on that dev team comes out fairly regularly and goes over things that are in the game and things that they're working on. I remember when Update 5 came out, he put out quite a significant, like an hour and a half long video of going over all the features and things and questions that people have been asking over time. Fair enough. I get that. But after all, it's still his name at the top of the masthead. Either make the introductions of who it is that's the lead on Icarus and maybe have them have a more hands-on role every so often. Yeah, I'm not saying I'm not saying whatsoever that every week I expect this. No, 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 not at all. But 15, 20 minute, half an hour, let's say maximum, little live stream or something once a month, or once the game's past a certain age, maybe like once a quarter or so, would be definitely very welcomed and would inspire more confidence in them. I still need more steel. I used up a bunch of it. I used up a bunch of it on making that concrete shit, and I still need it for making my more important stuff. I need 30 there, so I'm making 25. Yeah, that's going to be 30 steel when that's finished. Well, it's nearly 8 p.m. I'll be taking over on my shift any minute now. I mean, unless I missed something, yeah. If Heightmare is that main dude, it's not immediately obvious unless they've already made that distinction and I just missed the info. It would be nice if every now and then we had a bit of a live stream or maybe even like an AMA once in a while where they could more directly take questions from players and inform people of, if even if their roadmap is very all over the place, yeah, if they you can convey a lot more even in like a 5-10 minute little video or live stream than you can in just trying to write up a status update in text. If you had put out like a video or something of the kinds of things that they're thinking about, you could give better description. Yeah, I thought as much. I thought as much. Because however much I love this game, I'm still because certain other things are very much on the horizon. I'm still very much on the fence as to how much attention I'm going to give this game in the long run. Yeah, DLC here or there, it doesn't matter. Yeah, in 6 days, the Death Stranding director's cut comes out, and I'm definitely buying that. So I'm probably going to take like at least a 1 or 2 week hiatus to play that, and then November's going to roll around sooner than you think it. Yeah, and if they stay on track, if Bethesda stay on track with Starfield, then I'm going to be buying that, and I'm definitely going to be playing that. So if by that time they haven't made significant, like if we don't see the DLC by that time, yeah, and they haven't made significant bounds within this game, then they're going to lose me to Starfield. And there's probably a lot of people that are about the same way. I mean, I know there's already thousands of people that have gone from this game because of what they saw as a lack of a lack of progress from the devs. And yeah, there was a time where things seemed slow, and they've definitely turned things around. But they're really going to have to put something much more significant on the table than what they've done so far by November. Otherwise, I'm gone. If Starfield lives up to the hype, and Bethesda being Bethesda, I think they're going to knock that one out of the park. They have all my confidence. I haven't been jaded by some of the other things that happened in between. I've never played Skyrim, and Fallout 76. I think I didn't play Fallout 76 when it first came out. Yeah, I recently played it like 6 months ago or so when I bought it. So I didn't experience all the bugginess and all the shit that people claim to have been going through when it first came out. But my experience with Fallout 76 was okay. Yeah, obviously, X amount of time after its original release. So I'm not jaded in that way, so to speak, about those things that had happened. But I'm definitely giving Bethesda the strong benefit of the doubt to have high hopes that Starfield's going to be good. I mean, I had a Fallout First subscription until this came out. I cancelled it because I was like, if I'm not going to be going in there, hardly if ever, then there's no point in throwing that money out the fucking window. I'm not gonna keep that subscription just in the hopes that if I happen to go in, then at least I still have that extra box and the items and all that kind of stuff. It's one of those things to be in Fallout 76 still, yeah, and go through the motions of playing all the events that they bring out relatively regularly. You really need to be like fully invested in that franchise and have that game be it for you. Like for 10 years while I was off playing Minecraft, I didn't really care what else came out. I was a Minecraft guy. Yeah, and as I'm concerned, if this game really panned out, then I'd be an Icarus guy. Yeah, like Mumbo Jumbo plays Minecraft, and Brit and what's his face? What's his name? William and you know, a bunch of other guys. They're Rust people. I'd be an Icarus dude if this game really panned out, but they still don't they don't wholeheartedly have hold of me yet. Yeah, I know. I heard of that. I heard of that. I haven't really taken a look at it yet. Oh, I will. I will. I don't want to. I don't want to interrupt things right now. I'm going to be taking a little bit of a break soon anyway because my colleagues should be sending the handover email as to what I'm going to have to pay attention to on my shift, and I'm going to order some food. Because speak of the devil, some emails have already come through that I can that theoretically I should be the one handling because it's past 8 p.m. But my colleague still hasn't handed off as to what she's working on and what she's not working on. I don't like it when they don't handle things like this in a timely fashion because I'm just left hanging in the air as to what it is exactly I should be getting involved in. Because it comes off as rather unprofessional if all of a sudden they receive answers from two different people, especially if they end up being wildly different. Well, okie dokie, mate. You have a little nap. I'm going to be taking a break soon anyway. I need to get I need to get my head switched on for work time. Gonna get everything put together that I need for mining exotics. I don't really know why I'm working towards the furnace, to be quite honest. I know where the veins are. I don't need the radar. Okie dokie, mate. Thanks for sticking it in there. I'll see you later. I think that's it for me as well. I'm gonna wait for this to save, and I'm gonna call it there for now. Order some food, eat, and chill a bit, and be back to this later on once some of the work has cooled down. So yeah, I'll see all you maniacs later. Bye.